In today's video, I'll be showing you guys 3 must-have farms for your beginner Minecraft Bedrock worlds. Guys, these 3 must-have farms will work on the latest edition of Minecraft Bedrock and will also work on all Minecraft Bedrock platforms, including MCPE, PS4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and Windows 10 edition. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get straight to it. One of the most important things you need in Minecraft to progress is XP. And up next is a farm that will give you infinite XP and will also set you up with some incredible loot such as enchanted books, food, and many other cool items. So to build this farm, these are the items you'll need. You'll need 3 trapdoors of any kind, 4 signs of any kind, 3 chests, 1 minecart with a hopper, 1 hopper, a bucket of lava, a bucket of water, a single rail, and a couple ladders. And on top of that, you will need a fishing rod. Guys, you do not need a super enchanted one like the one I have right here. You guys can always start off with a normal fishing rod. But I recommend starting off with the best one you can, because the better the enchantments, the better stuff you get. And guys, don't worry, you can always use a normal one and then work your way up, as most likely you'll get some super good fishing rods while using the farm. So yeah, just go ahead and grab all these items. Now that you have all the items, the first thing you guys are going to want to do is grab your chest and then place it down somewhere. Now grab your signs and then place 3 like so. Then on the last side of the chest, you guys are going to want to place 3 trapdoors like this, so when you guys close them up, it should look a little like this. Now you can grab your water bucket and then crouch down and waterlog our chest. Once that's done, you guys are going to want to go to a lake nearby or any body of water and just swim around until you see some fish like these one right here. It can be salmon or cod, it doesn't really matter. Once you see it, grab your bucket and then right click the fish so you have that fish in your bucket. Now that you have your fish in a bucket, you guys are going to want to place it right here. So boom, we have a fish trapped in our little hole. Now for the next step, come right here to our chest and then break 4 blocks down like so. Then break some more like this. Now you can make your way down this hole and then break these 2 blocks and 2 more right there. Grab your chest and then place a double chest like so. Now grab your hopper and then place it going into the chest like this. Next, crouch down and then place a rail on top of our hopper. Then you can place your hopper minecart. Now you're going to want to get rid of that rail. To do that, break a block like this and then break the rail. Now guys, this step is very important. You guys are going to want to grab your last sign and then place it right here next to our hopper minecart. Now you can just grab any blocks of your choice and then just build up like this. Now place your lava bucket like so. Once you've done that, the final step is just to go down this hole and then place some ladders so you guys can easily get up and down this farm. And guys, a quick side note, if you guys want some more storage, you guys can always just add some more chests and hoppers to increase the capacity of this farm. But yeah, for now, that is the farm completed. And now I'll show you how you can use this farm. So firstly, if you guys take a look at your screen, in the center you should see a plus sign, and that is the crosshair. So to use this farm, you guys are going to want to grab your fishing rod and then aim your crosshair directly above our chest and on the trapdoor like I've done right here. And then all you guys have to do is press the right click button to cast our rod. And boom, whenever we catch something, it should automatically detach and we should get the XP and the item. So all you guys have to do is just recast and just wait until it automatically collects it for us. So yeah, just after a couple seconds, we already have a couple fish right here. And so you guys can see how much stuff and XP we get from this farm in 10 minutes. I'll be running some time-lapse footage right now, and at the end, I'll show you guys what we got. And guys, after 10 minutes, we have 20 levels. And if you go down here to check our chest, boom, we have so much loot. We have what, 3 stacks of fish, 5 nautilus shells, a couple name tags, and some really good fishing rods, and even some enchanted bows. And yeah, that's it. You guys have all this loot and 20 levels that easily. Now for farm number 2. No matter what you guys are into doing, you'll probably always need some extra iron. So here is a super compact and easy to build iron farm. And the materials required to build this farms are 2 chests, 3 hoppers, 3 signs, anywhere between 10 to 20 villagers, 20 fletching tables, a water bucket, a lava bucket, a single slab, a torch, and finally 20 beds. So yeah, go ahead and grab all these items. When you guys choose the location where you want to build this farm, make sure there are no other villages within a 150 block radius of the location that you've chose. And the first step is to dig out a 5x5 hole. And afterwards, you're going to want to dig down by 8 more blocks. And after all of that, that should leave you with a hole which is 5x5 blocks big and 9 blocks deep. Now that you're inside the hole, you're going to want to grab some temporary blocks. It can be any blocks of your choice, and then just place 2 like this all the way across. And repeat this on the other side as well. Once that's done, grab your beds and then place them all the way across our temporary blocks. Do it on both sides. Once you're done, break the temporary blocks directly under a bed like so, and then place beds all the way across the bottom as well. Make sure to repeat that for both sides. When you're all done, that should be 20 beds placed down. Now with some extra blocks, go ahead and fill in this hole all the way down the middle. Then with the same blocks, you can make a floor down here. Then place a torch down the middle. This should prevent any mobs from spawning down here. Now grab your fletching tables and then make out this hole in the wall like this. And repeat that for one more wall. Now you can go ahead and fill in these holes with fletching tables. Once you filled it all up, you should have used up 8 of our fletching tables. Now for the rest, make a hole that looks a little like this on the remaining 2 walls. And go ahead and fill that in. And while we're here, you're going to want to bring in your villagers. But guys, make sure that they can actually get a job, unlike this villager over here. So you're going to want to make sure that they're fully grown adult villagers and not wearing a green coat like this nitwit over here. Once you've got all 20 of your villagers in, you can start making a floor up here. The minimum amount of villagers you need for this farm to start working is 10. But 20 villagers is the best amount. And boom, once you build the floor, you should already have iron golems spawning. But for the next step, come over here to any of the corner blocks and then break 3 like so, and then place in a hopper going into one of the sides. Then you can place 2 going into that central hopper. Then grab your sides and then place 2 along the top right here, and then 1 more in the center down there. Now you can grab your lava bucket and then place it in between all 3 signs. Then make your way to the opposite corner and then place down a solid block and a water bucket on top of that. So that should push our iron golems towards our killing chamber. Now go to the corner where our hoppers were facing and then dig down by 5 blocks. And in here, you can break these 2 blocks over here and then place down a double chest. Then break these 2 blocks on top and then replace them with slabs so that you can easily access our chest. And optionally, you can place down some ladders to easily go up and down the farm. And a final tip, if you have any iron golems spawning outside of the farm, you can simply stop that by placing leaves on that spot. And now for the third and final farm, it is the fully automatic creeper farm. This can help you guys get as much gunpowder as you'll ever need. The first step in building this creeper farm is to find the correct location. And the best place to build your farm, in my opinion, is in the middle of the ocean like this. But if you guys want, you can build it over land as well, but that will affect the rates and make it a bit slower. So for optimum creeper spawning, I recommend you guys find yourself a little island like this. Then we can move on to building the farm. I've broken down the farm into 4 different sections. So as you can see, we have the funnel and collection system, then we have the spawning layers, next the roof, then finally we have the AFK platform and some final touches. And we're going to start off by building the funnel and collection system. And to do that, these are the items you'll need. You'll need 2 chests, 9 hopper, 9 campfires, 2 stacks of glass, which is actually optional. Instead, you can just use 2 more stacks of cobblestone, then 2 stacks of cobblestone stairs, a water bucket, and then 10 stacks of cobblestone, or any solid block you'd like. So just go ahead and grab all these items. The first step is to place down a double chest like this, then go behind it with your hoppers, and then place 3 like so, with 2 more going into each one like this. So you should end up with 9 hoppers. So now grab your solid blocks and come over here next to the hoppers. And in here, you can place down 16 blocks all the way up. Once you're done, repeat that with all of the walls around the hopper. But for the front 3 blocks right here, you guys can use glass so you'll be able to easily look into the farm, and so that we can open up the chest. And then finally, for the last layer above these glass blocks, you guys are going to want to place solid blocks like this, just so that the farm looks neater and more complete. So finally, when you're done, each one of these walls should be 16 blocks tall. Now you can make your way inside and then grab your campfires and then place them on top of our hoppers like this. Go ahead and place one on top of each hopper. So once you place on all 9, you can move on to the next step, and that is to make the big platform on top here. So to do that, grab your solid blocks and then come over here to any corner of the farm. Now go out by 7 blocks like this. Repeat that for all 4 corners. Once you're done, you should end up with a shape that looks a little like this. Then go ahead and connect up all 4 of these corners. Once you're done with that, you should end up with a big square like this, which you can go ahead and fill in. Once you're complete, you should end up with a big solid platform like this one over here, which should be 19 by 19 blocks big. Now come over here to any of the corners and then go up by 1 block and then outwards like this. Now you can get rid of this block right here and then go ahead and just make a outline all the way around. So that should leave you with a 1 block high wall. Now grab your stairs and then place one on top of each block like this. Then grab your water bucket and then go ahead and waterlog each one. To make this step a little easier for you guys, I recommend making an infinite water source somewhere up here so you guys can easily pick up water and then place them into these stairs. If you guys did everything correctly, you should end up with a platform that looks like this, with the water flowing exactly like this all the way up to the edge of the hole in the center of our platform. And with that step, that is the funnel and collection system complete. And now we can build these spawning platforms for the creepers. So to do that, these are the items you'll need. And a quick note, this is the amount you'll need for each layer that you guys want to build. I recommend you guys build anywhere between 5 to 6 layers, as that's the amount which I found effective for this farm, which should help you guys get the optimal amount of gunpowder. So for each layer, you'll need 2.75 stacks of any trapdoor of your choice, and 100 buttons of any kind, and you'll also need 3.5 stacks of any solid block. For me, I'm using cobblestone. So go ahead and grab all the materials. And to build these layers, grab your solid blocks, then make your way over here to any of the corners of the farm. Then skip one block like this, then place 3 on top like so, then go inwards like this. Now you can get rid of these 3 blocks. So as you guys can see, the block that we've placed should be directly above the corner of the farm like this. Now you can go ahead and extend this all the way across to the other corners. And now you guys should end up with a 19 by 19 square outline like this. With some solid blocks in your hand, come back down here, then skip this block and continue building lines all the way across. But just make sure to skip one block. That should leave you with a grill pattern like this. Then just go ahead and repeat that, but the other way around. And when you're all done, it should look a little like this, with evenly spaced out holes all the way across. Now grab your trapdoors and then place them in the holes and then open them like this. You're going to want to do this for every single one of these holes. Once you've placed and opened all of the trapdoors, grab your buttons, then come over here to the corner and then place them like this, making sure to skip one block and then do this all the way until you reach the other side. Now skip the row with the trapdoors and then repeat the same thing like this. Once you place the last button, your platform should look like this. Continuing on, grab your solid blocks and make your way to the corner, where you're going to want to place 2 blocks on top of the button like this, and then get rid of this bottom temporary block. Now you're going to want to repeat the waffle shape that we've built a couple blocks below up here. This will also be our second layer. Now that you're done with the second layer, there's actually one more super important step that we have to do for the first layer before we continue on building the next layers, and that is to grab your trapdoors and make your way down here. Now you're going to want to find a block which does not have a button on it. For example, this one over here, and then look directly up and then place a trapdoor right there. And you guys are going to want to do this for every single block which does not have a button on it. And finally, when you're all done placing each one of those trapdoors, it should look a little like this, with every single block that does not have a button under it should have a trapdoor on top like this. And that's how you build one of these layers. Now all you guys have to do is repeat that for as many layers as you want. Once you guys have added as many layers as you desire, you should end up with something that looks like this. And with that, we can move on to the next step, which is to build the roof. For that, you'll need 27 stacks of leaves, so go ahead and grab that. To build the roof, make your way to the toppest layer that you guys have built. Then place a temporary block right here, and then place a block in the corner, then you can get rid of the temporary block. And from here, you guys are going to want to go outward this way, 12 more blocks, and repeat that this way as well. And do that for all 4 corners. And once you're done with all 4 corners, you're going to want to connect up all of this to make a massive square. To do that, come over here to one of the corners and then extend out these sides until you get an outermost point right here. You can repeat that for all 4 sides and connect up the outside to make an outline. And then finally, you're going to want to fill in all of this with leaves. And boom, when you're all done, you should end up with this massive leaf roof. And as you guys can see, we already have some creepers spawning in. And now we can move on to the final and easiest part, which is the AFK platform and final touches. So for that, you'll need a couple of torches, a bit of scaffolding, and some glass. And with the torches, I recommend you guys place them down under our farm right here, just to prevent any mobs from spawning under here and then slowing down our main farm. So you can just place torches around your island, just making sure there's enough light to stop any mob from spawning down here. To build the part where you guys can AFK, just make your way to the center layer that you have built and then go out by 20 blocks. And then on the 20th block, place a temporary block right here, then go ahead and place blocks on all 3 sides. Then knock out this temporary block and then make this 2 blocks high right here, and then finally you can build a roof like this. Then you can knock out this bridge, and then to easily get in and out of this spot, just go ahead and place down some scaffoldings right here. Or obviously you can just place down some blocks and then place a ladder going all the way up here. And when you're done, you can easily climb in and out of our spot. And guys, to get the best rates out of this farm, I recommend AFKing right here. And if possible, you're going to want to change your game difficulty to hard mode. To do that, press escape, go into settings, and then change the difficulty to hard. That should increase the rate of our farm. And for some reason, if you're not getting any creepers to spawn, I recommend you guys check that your simulation distance is set to 4 chunks. To do that, press escape, go to main menu, and in here, press the little pen icon next to your world. And if you scroll down a bit, you should see simulation distance. Just make sure it's set to 4 chunks. And yeah, that's it. Those are the 3 must-have beginner farms for Minecraft Bedrock.